Greetings, YouTube. I was about to say Facebook, but greetings, YouTube. This is Lady Empath, the humanitarian here. And I just want to say that I do not do scripts. And so when I come on, it's usually raw and uncut and spur of the moment in most cases. And so I know this is not aesthetically pleasing right now, but I just thought I would at least show a flower and my pink Himalayan salt light here, since it was such a spur of the moment type of thing. And listen, I just want to come on today to talk about some of the thoughts, images, and revelations that I feel like has been coming to me. And those of you who do not know much about me, I am classified as an empath, and my channel is going to be dedicated to empaths, or those who have survived narcissistic abuse, or those who are caretakers of the special needs community, like those with autism or Asperger's or intellectual impairments. And so the reason that's my target, I mean, it's for anyone who feels like it resonates with, but that's my target because there's energy and information and wisdom that's specifically geared towards the empowerment, the help, the support, the enlightenment of those who find themselves under those classifications, okay? And so today is my intention just to share my heart and my journey and my story and information that's provoked me in my awakening and enlightenment, and to think about and challenge everything in my life. Everything. Belief systems, everything that we have been programmed to know, think, and or believe and adhere to. And so today, there's a few thoughts, and so forgive me if it's not streamlined or structured. It's just kind of I'm just giving it, okay? I had a thought, several thoughts, but I had a thought about how everything is energy. And that's the provocation I want to put out there with love and light and ease and grace and comfort. And as you know, it resonates with you and your higher self, if it's fitting. But everything is energy, whether we are knowledgeable about that or not, whether we are accepting of that or not. Everything is energy. And if everything is energy, if our body, if our personality, emotions, like everything we've come to know is in essence a form of light and energy, then it would bode us well to look at, well, the conditions of our lives and ask the question, well, why? And not from the traditional sense that we've done this. But for an example, you guys hear me talk about my culture or ethnicity, the African American culture, but you can put this in any category or any culture and ethnic background, okay? The chakra systems. I know many don't believe that the chakra systems don't exist, but you don't have to believe it. It's about the energetic fields in our bodies that actually exist. And they are also paralleled and correlated to particular functions of our body. Okay? So the chakras, thinking about it on an energetic level as it is, let's speak on the root chakra. That's the base. That's the number one chakra, right? That's related to the color red, and they say it's located either at the base of the spine or between your pelvic bones. And it can be, that energetic area could be used to connect to Mother Gaia. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Mother Earth, receiving that groundedness, right? But let me also share how the root chakra is the base and the foundation in which everything really needs to be built upon. Just like any other root, getting to the root of an issue or dealing with roots is important in everything, because if you do all this other glorious stuff, but your roots are crappy, for lack of better words, it's going to be short-lived, it's going to crumble, it's going to be out of balance. The root chakra is related to our security, our feeling of security, our identity, our confidence, um, um, empowerment. Well, solar plexus is more empowerment, but we get that identity, that security, that confidence from the root. If the root is out of whack, and what can make a root out of whack, if you just want to know? If you look at the history of the African American culture, everything was shaken. So in essence, the root chakra of probably most African Americans is out of balance if they have not or are not doing some type of healing energetic work on some level. Now, see, here's the thing about an out of balance chakra. Doesn't mean that you're not functional. It doesn't mean that you don't have accomplishments. It doesn't mean none of that. It's referencing to the balance and the healthiness, right? Unconditional love, radical forgiveness and compassion for self and for all. And when chakras are out of balance or fractured, then the function is off. It can be overly aggressive or under functioning. It could shift into the other chakras, causing obsessions and addictions and out of balance things there. Okay, so everything being energy and starting with the root, they're all important, and the heart center is probably one of the primaries. But I'm saying that the root is almost of extremist importance because that's the base of which things are built upon. If you do a lot of higher energetic work and your root is still fractured and fragmented, then all of that energetic work is going to be off and short-lived and not centered and balanced properly. All the chakras need to be in alignment to tell the truth. But starting with the root gives, I would say, a more smooth, a more secure building block for energetic work or healing work. And it helps to identify a lot in our lives, our shadow side, which is not all bad. But, that ego kicks into high gear when your root is whacked. You wasn't, let me give some practical examples. Let's say you never had a secure place to live in childhood. Let's say you were abandoned by your parents or caretakers, and everything after that was kind of chaotic and abusive and dysfunctional. Your root chakra is all jacked up. And everything you do is based on fear and scarcity. This is why we see so much war and fighting and over-aggression and backstabbing and people not able to love and support themselves or others properly, because it's a subconscious scarcity fear base, which in turn makes a person do things, or provokes, I should say, and triggers a person to do things that is more animalistic in nature, the lower nature. Versus a healthy root chakra, you have that base, you have that security, that feeling of safety. Let's say you were never given that feeling of safety, right? So you've built your life upon, you see where I'm going? Why this is so important? And as an empath, I wanted to share it because now I'm starting to also realize how not only, depending on what we've come from, as an empath, we pick up others. So this explains why, if you're empathic and you feel uncomfortable around certain kind of people and you feel bad about it, but it's because you, as an empath, it's more than just relating to a person. You pick up energy. So when people are off balance, I always wondered why it bugged me to be around overly aggressive people. But now I get it. Or people that just seem to not have any respect or regard for other people's boundaries or their rights, whether they liked it or agreed upon it or not. You know what I mean? Like, what is that in you that makes you feel like you have the right? And it's all as a result of chakras being off and vibrating what they call basal energy, lower level vibration, okay, which triggers and provokes lower level behaviors and cycles. So I wanted to share that because I was just, as I was thinking about it today, I was like, oh my God, everything is energy. And the root chakra is so important because if we don't feel safe, you need to feel safe. Safe to do anything. You hear me? Safe to do anything. The trust issues come from the root chakra. All of that. You need to have a sense of trust and safety in order to grow in a healthy way, not that fight and flight survival mode that is toxic. And after a while, it harms the physical form as well as the psyche. Those were never meant to be lived in a long haul. Those systems are there by design, but they were never meant to be lived in forever and ever as your way of life. That's out of balance. So all of that energy, okay? My recommendations, dear beautiful empathic souls, or those who are recovering from narcissistic abuse, or those who are caretakers of the special needs community, or just sensitive souls, being mindful and more conscious of the reality that everything literally is energy and applying that to everything we've ever experienced. Focusing on keeping that chakra constantly cleared and healed and balanced, doing work in that chakra on a regular basis. Why? As an empath, we're absorbing people constantly. Why? As someone who's come from narcissistic abuse, you absorbed all of their abuse and projections. Why? As someone who takes care of the special needs community, we are picking up their energy all the time. And so we're constantly receiving input on top of our own stuff. And so the root chakra needs to be addressed daily so that we can do the higher work, but so that we can stay grounded and balanced, right? As empathic, sensitive souls, or people recovering from narcissistic abuse and taking care of the special needs community. Okay, that was my one train of thought. My other train of thought is this. As a single, I don't know if any of you have ever wondered in your life if you are a parent of a special needs person, or if you come from narcissistic abuse, or if you classify yourself as an empath. As you review your life in hindsight, haven't you ever wondered, why is there a similarity in the kind of people that you were drawing in and your special needs child? Oh, this one got me today. And it's a good thing, because it led me to a prayer and a request out to Source, God, and Mother Earth, and the universe, and spirit guides to help me in this now that I'm aware. If everything is energy and vibration, and before we become awakened or in the know or enlightened, and let's say all we have been around on a consistent basis is our special needs offspring, and we are used to vibrating on that energetic level before we've learned how to do cleansing and protection and all these things that maybe we know now later on. It's like accumulation. This is why energetic work is important, because everything is stored in our subtle bodies as well as our physical bodies. So we've become almost accustomed to vibrating and picking up the special needs offspring. Like attracts like. I ask the question, why do I seem to attract? They may not be to the severe extreme, but on some level very similar, of my son, which is a 25-year-old autistic young man. So attracting either like your family or if you have a special needs offspring, it's like, oh, okay, because that caretaker vibe we have, that all of that. And if you're an empath, then you got that vibe. And and so and this is not a slight against people, this is just observation and calling things as they are. Not to say if it's good, bad, evil, better, or whatever. It's just identifying that, okay, it don't matter how old they are. Age is really nothing. Okay, you can have a 45-year-old, 12-year-old man, okay? So, or a woman, or what have you. So they are drawn to that, and that is because of a vibration. When that kicked into me today, I was like, "Ooh, help me." Because I love my son, and I have a special tender heart for those that are like my son. And because I'm an energetic worker and healer and an empath and all these things, there's a certain tender spot that people in need have in my heart. However, that is not what I desire when it comes to intimate personal relationships that are to be mutually beneficial and mutually fulfilling, not draining. Okay, though all interactions on some level take stuff from us, but it should not be to the same magnitude as if you're trying to do healing work for a customer or a client, or if you're being a caretaker of a special needs population. I'm talking about the types of relationships that we desire to have that are fulfilling and pleasurable. And me even letting go of the guilt of that, or the feeling like I shouldn't want better. But I should. Everything needs to be balanced. And though I'm an energetic worker or healer, it may not serve me well to be intimately connected to someone that maybe they just require energetic healing. And maybe they can pay for my services or something like that. You know what I mean? If that's the desire. But to keep vibrating that way, right? So my request to God, Source and Creator and Mother Earth was, help me to shift vibration and to do more energetic healing with joy in my root chakra, and then constant cleansing, since I am a mother to a special needs person. But to somehow be able to raise my vibration and keep it there, that I start to attract different than that. That's why environment is important. And it's almost like, oh my gosh, if you're not doing some kind of healing energetic work and you're living in chaos, all you're going to do is recycle it. And I'm saying that with love and grace and compassion, because I live that. And it's all energy and vibration, and I wasn't understanding or in the know of the things I needed to put into practice, not for dogma's sake, rigidity, control. That's not what it's about. It's about realizing that perception is reality. The brain is sophisticated, but we're more than our brain and our bodies, and everything is energy, and having a respect for that, and saying that, okay, Brandy, you accumulated a lot, but now you're in the know. And though you may not be able to do snap, crackle, and pop, it will serve you well to do what you can. And on a daily basis, identifying that and keeping your vibrations high, getting it high, keeping it high, loving yourself, trying to, with ease and grace, go with the ebb and flow. But so that you can attract people, situations, circumstances, and relationships that are not parallel or equal to that of your son or your bloodline. Haven't you guys ever wondered why it seems like everything is on repeat or a loop? They call them cycles. And some people think they're out their cycles, but they just shift shape. Addiction is addiction. Abuse is abuse. Overuse is overuse. No matter what shape it takes. It's just a fancier, it's got a bow on it. Okay. I mean, it's got more glitter, but you see where I'm going with that? They say, there's a saying, as below, so above, as within, so without. And it's belief systems. It's agreements. It's vibration. It's energy. And that's why it's so important for empaths to do whatever we can. Sometimes maybe you haven't manifested the money on the level to be able to go and get all this and this and this. But there are some things, dear ones, that you can do for free if you don't have access, or you can do with that stuff that's in your cupboards and cabinets and, because, situation, if you are reaching, you can manifest where you're at the help you need on some level. I'm able to say that with confidence because I did it and I'm doing it. I haven't arrived. I'm still growing. I'm still learning. One of the greatest lessons I'm learning is self-acceptance and self-love and freedom, and not allowing myself to live in the prison of the projections of others. No matter how offbeat and eccentric I may be. At the end of the day, you all hear me say this, at the end of the day, as adult beings in the United States of America, it's just you. Folks are going to go home, eat chicken and ice cream. I say this all the time. So why should we allow people's projections and their issues and belief systems and control issues to rule and control our worlds when at the end of the day, they're going home? At the end of the day. At the end of the day. So the more true we are to ourselves, the more freedom, the more peace, the more authentic. And then the more we start to raise our vibration, and then the more we start to draw in like-minded. I don't expect everyone to be like me. It will probably be very boring. However, I am looking for my soul tribe. I've expended a lot of energy in my lifetime trying to make situations, things, and or people and circumstances be something they were never meant to be. And it was such a waste. But in a sense, it wasn't, because the silver lining is this. It all led to the moment of awakening and enlightenment. It all provoked me, which awakened me, and is awakening. And I'm okay with that, right? All right, you guys. So I just wanted to share that information. I hope it provokes you all to think and do your own research and look into things and look into doing your own form of energetic work. You don't have to really be a specialist to start with something. You pray, you ask God, Source, Creator, Mother Earth, and watch the synchronicities happen for you. But be mindful and pay attention, because things will start to unfold. Okay? Be willing to surrender, let go of everything that is no longer serving your highest good. Be willing and say that, and say it to yourself and out loud, and say it to the universe, and say it, you know what I mean? When you're trying to seek change, like, I'm willing to let go of belief systems, attitudes, mindsets, agreements, whatever. I'm willing to let it go. If it means that I can evolve and come and grow into that I desire. Not what they told me to, but that is in resonance with who I really am. That brings ultimate fulfillment into my life. Because that's what it comes down to. We have a right to feel good, but we were not taught that. And when I say feel good, I'm not talking about at the expense of someone's life. I'm not talking about those crazy extremes, which I know inevitably someone's going to go there in their minds. Let's be balanced here in the way we're thinking. All right. All right. I love you guys. I'm sending you all hugs, loves, kisses, the highest vibration of the rose, unconditional love, radical forgiveness and compassion, the violet flame. And may you be blessed and successful in your day, in your life, on your journey. Okay? Until next time, namaste.